Hello, my name is Dr. Emmanuel Taklamariam. I am a professor at St. Mary's University of Minnesota. Today, I would like to share one example of a non-Western ideology by looking at an African traditional system of education. Okay, let me share my screen. So my example is taken from an ethnic group in Eritrea. Eritrea is located in Eastern Africa, from the Blin community or from the Blin ethnic group. First, I would like to acknowledge that living in 21st century with the realities of globalization, including the impact of European colonialism, it is hard to find a pure non-Western ideology. However, if we pay close attention to some cultural practices and the impact of the immediate environment, we are able to identify some unique native practices. In terms of the system of education in Eritrea, including in Ethiopia, you can find formal education, informal education, and non-formal education in between the formal and informal. It is in the informal system, the traditional African education placed where the non-Western ideologies, pedagogies, and philosophical realities found. So that is where we will pay more attention. So, in general, the philosophical foundations of African indigenous traditional education are um, preparationism, to prepare the young member of society to adulthood and to take the responsibilities that go along with it. Functionalism, meaning as a young student, you become productive. uh, Communalism, to build the collective community's interest, and perennialism, holistic education, not specialization. When one is educated as an adult, he or she should be able to be productive and prepare the tools that they need for building a house, tools for farming, animal husbandry, involvement in community activity. So you don't specialize in one single area, but holistic education. And education is a response to the harsh environment. You live in a semi desert, frequent droughts are common to enable you survive within the challenges, not with the aim of pleasure or physical comfort. Pain, challenges, and physical hardship have some values. From childhood to old age, people had to participate in the socio-economic realities. It is common to find young children, 5 to 7 years old, tending animals, fetching firewood, fetching water. So, education is not necessarily to prepare the young person to become productive for tomorrow, but to make him or her become productive today. Moreover, hard work must be seen as a necessity and as a blessing. Traditional education traditional education, on its center there is God and religion. Almost in every aspect, every challenge, whether it is human made challenges or natural challenges, the answer is found on the basis of the religious teaching. Traditional education discourages individualism, thus, children are instructed to be mindful to their fellow men and women as they uh, eat, as they play, as they work and pray. If you think about the limited available resources that they had, having that communal mentality is the most effective strategy for survival. Let me give an example from the same ethnic group, from the Blin tribal culture, to demonstrate that communal life. So, in a village, in most villages, we find close friends and relatives sitting in a circle, like 5 to 10 people sitting in a circle and sharing milk most of the time, or could be porridge from a single vessel. So the vessel goes around from one person to the next. When it is one turn, he must slurp with a loud, sloppy, suckling noise to show that he did not swallow mouthful. Sipping without slurp would be a sign of inconsiderate because they will swallow more. We need to understand this emic reality to understand the communal reality. And then another example related to the value of hardship. As I mentioned earlier, uh, education is not for pleasure, for physical comfort. Pain and hardship have their own values. So we can mention this example of initiational rite or passage of rites from boyhood to manhood, as you can find it in many African communities, with circumcision, knocking of the teeth. But in this community, one of the initiational rites is where they have to tie the hands of the young man who is being initiated, making him walk on barefoot. Uh, and they can push him on a rough surface, they can beat him, and he should not show any sign of pain, and he should obey completely to their orders. And they take him from one village to another village with that hardship experience. When he overcomes all these obstacles and goes to the neighboring villages, then he has proved to be a man. He can marry, he can have his own family. He is proven to be a productive member of a society. So hardship and pain have values because you need them to function in those harsh environment. Looking at leadership, leadership is determined by one's gender and age in most cases. The older the man, the wiser he is expected to be, thus assumes responsibilities. At times, one's social background, such as one's clan, determines the leadership role. So we can conclude that the physical environmental realities, the informal learning, hard work, value people attribute in what they encounter, the role they attribute to the creator and to the members of their community on the basis of their age or gender, and the communal life are some examples depicting non-Western ideologies that we can see from the traditional system of education. Thank you so much for your attention.